What's up, everyone? Welcome to my show. Probably looking really crazy right now. Just got up, very tired. But I figured I'd make a video about stuff I got in the mail yesterday and stuff I bought at the stores yesterday. Got some cool stuff and got it really, really cheap. That's the best way to go. Good stuff for cheap. This they actually had on clearance, so I got it. It's going to be one hell of a project to do, but I'm going to take my time with it. I'm going to go slow and just work it out. If you've seen my videos before, I have like tons and tons of notebooks showing pretty much every comic book I guess I'm interested in, and then I would cross out what I have, and the ones I didn't cross out are obviously the ones I need. And it was a pain in the ass to bring those constantly to conventions and comic book stores, because then I'd have to pull out each and every book, and it was just a pain in the ass. Which I'm not against it, because it's, it took a lot of time to do that, so I'm keeping that as like a master list, I guess. But I got this. This was on clearance, like I said, picked it up. So now I'm going to have one solid book. It's pretty thick. It's a journal book. So one solid book. As you can see inside, it's got Marvel Comics. For my comics, really. I might even just keep Marvel in here, just because it's a Marvel book. I don't know. We'll see. But I decided I went out and got some tabs. So you have the might not be able to see it too well, because I didn't let it dry as much as I wanted. But as you can see, wrote a red tab, The Amazing Spider-Man. Then I have all the numbers in there, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1. And I'm just going to keep going with the tabs. So it's going to be a quick reference and be like, alright, Amazing Spider-Man. Even if I don't read it, I know red one is Spider-Man. I'm going to make, I think I'm going to make the blue one, I think X-Men. Yellow is going to be Wolverine. Green is going to be the Hulk. I have a whole load of colors. Orange would be Iron Man. And I think I might have white, or I might make blue Captain America and white the X-Men. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, there's that. Clearance. Cheap stuff. Another thing I found on clearance. Extremely cheap. And originally I wasn't going to buy it, but then I was like, you know what? It's really cheap. I had gotten a lot of these on clearance like a month or two ago. And they just put more in the clearance section. So, I got this because I figured it might actually complement the other one I have. My baby Groot, my dancing baby Groot. I went ahead and bought a Rocket Raccoon. He was only $2. So, very cool. I don't know why, but these things are addictive. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's... I don't know. I mean, originally when I got one, when these originally came out, I was like, oh, those things look stupid. I don't want to get those. They're blah, blah, blah. And then I went ahead and bought one. And I'm like, oh, they're kind of cool, because the original plan was I was going to get, when I had a movie room, I was going to get just strictly movie character ones, like Edward Scissorhands and The Crow and stuff like that. And then I was going to strictly get 80s ones and just fill it in. But then I was like, oh, I like the comic book ones. And then it started, and then just kept going from there. And I've said it to my friends, and I think I've said it on here, these are the new Beanie Babies, which is insane. Like, I've seen, I went on eBay and I was kind of curious, typing in names, just to see if they had them as these. And a lot of the ones, of course, I typed in are retired. Like, just like Beanie Babies, they get retired. And now they're worth, like, a fortune, like the Riddler. I saw when it was retired, and somebody wanted, like $800 for it. I was like, oh, my God. But there's that. Craziness. Now, on to what I got in the mail on eBay. The price that I paid for 2 of these books is so damn cheap. I can't even stand it. It brings a grin to my face. Unfortunately, the books were not in better shape. I mean, they were in better shape when I bought them, but of course, the seller didn't pack them well, and they got messed up. So, yes, I'm talking about comics. But still, for the price I paid, I'm not really bitching about it. I'm going to show you the big one, and then I'm going to show you the one I got with it, because it was kind of funny. I went on eBay, and I was just looking around, because I told the wife I wasn't buying anything anymore. And I found a loophole. I was like, well, unless something's really, really cheap, and it's on sale. And she's like, all right, as long as you don't spend, like, hundreds of dollars. So I was like, ooh, So I'm watching my money. I'm doing it the white way. The white way, Wasquay Wabbit. Doing it the right way. I'm taking some money out of my paycheck. I put it aside for if I see something that I really want. I have the extra cash, and if I don't, I put it back into something else. Anyway, I was on eBay, and I was just looking through stuff, and all of a sudden I typed in something, and like this thing came up, and I saw this guy's profile thing, whatever it is, and apparently he's like a biker, like motorcycle, and he had a couple comics on this thing, and I'm like, oh, I was like, that's cool, and he was selling them just really cheap, like buy it now, and it was one of those prices where it looks like it's too good to be true, and there's just no way that that could be that price for that book, and I messaged him. I said, "Is that the real book?" I was like, "Is that really that thing?" I was like, "Because there's a lot of reprints out there." I was like, "He's like, no, it's real." He's like, "I had it when I was a kid, and and I got a few when I was older." And he's like, "But I just didn't really like latch on to comics, so I just wanted to get rid of them." He's like, "That's why I'm selling them so cheap." He's like, "Because they don't really mean anything to me, and I just want them out of there." He's like, "I'm not going to try to get the full value for them." He's like, "Because it would just take too much time and this and that." And so I was like, okay. I was like, can you just send me a photo of the inside? I was like, not saying you're lying. I'm just, And he's like, are you interested in buying it? I was like, if it's the real one, I was like, if you send me a photo of the inside of it, I was like, I'll definitely buy it. And I was like, that's, pure fact. I will get it. And it was free shipping, so it was cool. Now this book, like I said, I'm rambling. This book I saw in Ultimate Comics. This is a comic store by me. They had one in the case, in the display case, and they wanted $500 for it or something like that, or 400, some insane high price. Then they had another one in the bin, and they wanted, I think, almost $200 for it, which was in a little crappier shape than the case one, obviously. This one I found. This is the one that I said I had the guy send me a photo, and it was the real one, so I was like, I'll buy it. And he's like, okay. He's like, I have other people that are looking at it. He's like, but, you got here first, I was like, all right, cool. So he was a cool guy. Check, like I said, but then I'll show you why I'm a little upset because of the way I guess, like I said, he didn't care about comics, so didn't really take care of them. But this is the X-Men number 49, which is the first appearance of Lorna Dane, or Polaris, if you want to call her. But she doesn't really get mentioned as Polaris in here. She gets mentioned as Lorna Dane, and you see that she has brown hair instead of green. And then towards the end, they show that she has green hair, and she says that she dyes it to look more normal. But, yeah. And then, there's Seamus and Gizmo, getting crazy. Hey, you two! Hey! Bad! They're trying to bite each other. But anyway, what did I pay for this? Paid $6. $6 for this. And I'll show you the condition in a moment, but, I want to show you something else. Like I said, I asked the guy if he had any other comics. He said he only had one other one. And I was like, well, what is it? He sends me a photo, and I was like, well, how much do you want? He's like, well, I'll ship it for free. He's like, but if you buy the both of them, he's like, just give me $7 altogether. So I paid $1 for this, and that is Batman number 428, which is the death of, was it Jason Todd? Or it's the aftermath. It's not like he technically dies in the issue before it, but then you realize that he's dead in this one. This is the one where you call the issue before, you call the number, voted, and whatever, and then they would show the aftermath. But still, $1? Oh my god! So $7 altogether, and I got these two books. This one's actually in probably very fine condition. Fine, very fine, give or take. Maybe a little better, but I'm gonna go with that grade. This one I would say is probably, I would say very good at least. I wouldn't say plus or negative, but at least it's in that range. The reason, you might not be able to see it, but it's darkened over here a little bit. I don't know what from. Maybe the ink is starting to fade through. But the real reason that it's in rough shape is it probably would have been a very good plus, maybe a little bit better. But when he mailed them, like I said, I kind of lucked out on this one because he didn't have any boards. You just had them in bags, and the bags were just nasty and old. But at least he bagged them. When he mailed them in this really crappy, envelope thing, that just barely, not just barely covered them, but there was no leeway or anything. Didn't put any boards between them, nothing, just kind of sent it. So I was amazed. Like I said, this one didn't get bent at all, but this one got bent all across the bottom. You can see how it has the fold line. This was basically in this with the bag, and I'm like, oh man. And there was some spine roll a little bit to begin with and some chipping on the sides. But that, and it's just it has a couple of, which I never noticed when I bought it, but even still, like I said, for the price I paid, it's got some little pieces here and there. But still, $6. I mean, most of the time, this kind of a shape one goes for like $20, you know, give or take. But for $7 altogether, two awesome books. I know. I think like number 50 is the real, the I guess is the money book because it has Polaris as Polaris, you know, on the cover. Which I'm gonna get it down the line, but still very cool. I was amazed. Like I said, I thought I was getting gypped. I thought it was gonna be like a reprint or something like that. But I was like, no, it's the real one. See, it pays to wait and look, I guess, because I was almost tempted to buy it Ultimate Comics for like $100 or $200, whatever it was. I was like, Anyway, that will do it for this episode. Yay. I do have a couple things coming in the mail, which again, like I said, savings, cheapness. I don't know. The prices I paid for them were insanely low. So that's really one of the main reasons I got what I got coming in the mail, and I'm bidding on something right now, which I'm hoping I get for the price I get it, because again it's really cheap, and I hope it's the real thing. It's one of the things I've wanted for a while, so I guess like I said, like waiting does help sometimes, but sometimes it kicks you in the face. I'm just hoping nobody else bids on it, because if they don't, then I'm gonna get it for a nice cheap price, and it'll be awesome. If they do, though, I don't know how high I'm really going to go on it, because, I mean, I'm not saying what it is, like I said, make a surprise, but they're pretty high to begin with, and when I saw this thing for this price, I was like, oh, well, I was like, it's not going to stay that way, but we'll see, because I'm not going to go, I'll put it this way, I'm not going to go any higher than $40 on it, let's put it that way. Still, cheap, but not cheap. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and remember, it's not the size of your cave that matters, it's what you have in it. Later, everyone.